checking your left and right. God, man, my controller is turning slow all the time. But yeah, so anyways, other than that, like, did you guys go through Forge at all and check out all the little spawn points on your own? Yeah? So, like, you guys obviously got to see, like where, you know, everything is, and just, like, remember, like, when, like, what are the, and, you know, where in Team Slayer, it's not as simple as it is in CTF. Like, CTF, it's like, I don't know, you cut off to one side of the map, but in TS, like, at any given time, someone could randomly just spawn right here. And now, you know, like, is your guy up here going to be ready for that? Like, you got to remember, like, where all the little routes that they can take to try and pretty much take away your setup. But at the same time, what you need to do is just literally stay alive. Like, if it's Team Slayer, like, and you're no shields up here, and you're like, oh man, I'm trying to hold this down, like, I need help. If someone on your team, all they need to say is, oh dude, you're by yourself, and you can literally just drop down and just play it safe, and then maybe if you have jetpack, it'd be sweet to come back up. If you don't worry about it, just come around. But you don't need to force any setups if you can. Like, if you're gonna die, just tell your team, like, does anyone have my help? And it takes a lot of practice, and a lot of, like, just literally repetition is huge. Just you know, like I said, oh, I'm saying, like, you're by yourself, oh, I got your help, wait 2 seconds, like, giving someone a time frame of how long they have to your help, rather than, you know, like, oh, I'm coming from this area, oh, I'm coming from street, or I'm watching here, I got your shots. All those little things of like, giving someone a mental image of help is just so much bigger when it comes to setups. Because, like, if you have, like, a setup down, then someone is expecting something, you know? So, like, if this guy's right here, he's no shields, but Mike over here doesn't know it, and he's, like, shooting, like, his ass off, like, dude, Eric, small door, and this guy's just, like, chilling here. All he needs to say is, Mike, I can't help you, you know, I'm no shields, like, you gotta back off. And then, next thing you know, that guy, Mike backs off, and I can assassinate someone. But instead, he might challenge to the death, and then bitch at me when he dies, because I don't say anything to him. So, it's just, like, it's seriously so huge to be, to talk to each other about all that kind of stuff. Now, like I said, with Sniper, you obviously want them in the radio. Rockets, it's not a bad idea to have them over by Tri-Lift, because they're just so powerful, and like I said, it's a close range, so you're never really getting trapped. It's the reason that, or one of the main reasons that you might carry rockets in the radio is if you get jetpack. Like, jetpack and Sniper, jetpack and rockets, any stuff like that in the balcony is a deadly combo. So, like, and I could go over, you know, all the little details of, like, oh, what you can do in this situation, but in reality, the best way you'll get used to that is just literally by playing it and testing those things out. God damn it, this is already screwing up a little bit. But yeah, so it's so besides that, you just want to keep an eye out on everything. Like, it's not you can see window. I don't know if you guys know, but, like, there's this little gap right here, so, like, always use your vantage points to your advantage. You can see from here to window, and if they're coming up vents, or you want to, like, check the entryways at all times. Like, if your boy has down this small door, like, clear, like both small doors, then all you need to do is just keep watching your lifts, you know, and you could get baited. As soon as you get shot, you can drop here and come back up, and he thinks that you left. And now, you know what I mean? Then, like, instead, people just challenge us to fight, and it's pretty much stupid. You can come onto the catwalk or anything. There's just all the other ways that you really just want to force into holding that setup. Let me back out. Start up a new one. Alright. Yeah.
I had a call out that I was not sure that I was one of the guys today, and the other day was Bubble. What's Bubble on that?
Okay, Bubble is just normally the vent, like red bubble and blue bubble. It's like, I mean, that's what I consider it. It's just like like when you port up those vents, they call them bubbles, I think. I mean, that's my take on it, at least. You know what I'm talking about?
The vents are by the catwalk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. So, here, we'll just start that back up. Do you guys have any questions at all, by the way?
The last time we were talking about How far out did you say that goes for each player?
I'd say it's probably about 10 feet, but like I said, we gotta try and keep all that kind of talk to like a minimum on the stream, because that's my pride and joy shit.
Okay.
Hey, Eric.
Yeah.
One question.
Yes, sir.
And it's kind of dumb, but why is your Spartan a female?
Because apparently people say that the female Spartan actually has like it's less bulky, so it's actually harder to shoot, or it has a smaller hitbox. I don't know if it's true, but I mean it can't hurt, so that's why I stuck with it.
It's psychological.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, there's definitely some. My guy makes some queer screams and stuff like that when I die, on some weird occasions, but it's all right. It's worth it. So anyways, so like besides TS, obviously, so that's like your best strat. Obviously, like when you have perfect setup. Now, when let's say they have perfect setup, like ways to break it. You want to use things that pretty much change up the scene a little bit. When they have that perfect setup, do they have the jetpacks? Like if they don't have the jetpacks, you can easily orchestrate something. Like whether it's someone coming in, once someone, let's say, coming up this back ramp and waiting right here, while his teammate comes up the jetpack and causes a distraction, and they work on the guy health pack. Or let's say you have even your two teammates come and jetpack it simultaneously up to the radio. Like you can always use different things. If they don't have the evade, whether you want to, let's say they have perfect setup and jetpacks, then you might want to be waiting on the rockets to come up, or and get a setup to break rockets. Like now, if you're let's say down low and you're just trying to get top control, like if this is Halo 1 and it was like taken as seriously as it used to be, people would be camping so hard, like just waiting for the weapons to come back up. And like what could happen to a point is where you come down here because rockets are spawning at the garage door, and you're just waiting right here for the rockets to come down, or even right here, and your other two teammates can be in either the big door, like of each big door, or if they get lucky enough without getting seen, it's not a bad idea to be right here either, and like on either side, while the guy is still bottom tri-left, and then your last teammate could be the guy running for rockets. Now, like something like that is very well orchestrated, and like it takes some time to get there. But like I said, if you actually take the time to hold on, I'm setting up, I'm going to red window, I'm going to blue window before rockets come up. Like I don't want to take the chances going up. Like yeah, you could take some teamwork. Let's say it's what is it, 12:10 they spawn. Let's say it's like 14 minutes, and they have full top control and everything set up. Yeah, you're not going to wait until 13:10 for the rockets to come up, and you might want to take a different approach. But if it's something like 13:30, I'm thinking 12:10. If it's something like 12:30 or something of that case, then all right, we only got 20 seconds. All right, let's try and set up. Someone got in each of the windows. I got bottom tri left. Who's going for rockets? Type of deal, and you can set something up like that. So like I said, if you're orchestrated, you're obviously going to have the advantage. Now, if they're in radio and stuff like that, they're expecting one guy to go for rockets, or they don't even know where you are. So if they come out peeking on these vents a little bit, they'll actually get drilled by not only the guy bottom tri-left, but also the guy in either window. And so that leaves this guy pretty open. At the same time, like if he gets shot from radio, it's not a bad idea to back off, because you have all two routes covered. They have to, if they're grabbing rockets, they can only go two ways. And obviously tri-left is gonna hurt someone. He might get a few nades down there and has support up. There might be some bad scenarios and stuff, but at the same time, like as long as you just have those rockets in your sight, or wait, I can't see them anymore. Like you're by yourself now. Like then maybe make a push for the rockets, or all right, screw rockets, guys, they got them. Just like pour it up. Let's try and take advantage. Like while one guy's down, obviously down low with rockets, you can take the advantage and try and flank them, because everyone has attention on rockets. When rockets are coming up in a serious game type, everyone's rockets. Like it's a huge deal. So you got to make sure that you can like play off of that. Like if a guy that's normally on health pack is always looking behind him, but now rockets are coming up, he might come down the street to help out his teammates on radio. So it's not a bad idea to come up one of the tri-lifts and try and make a play. So like besides that though, let's say it's just sniper coming up at 1310. Like, sniper isn't as key as the other ones, but if they have top control, it's not a bad idea to just try and get prepared for sniper. And when you want to do that is like same idea, like only on each one of these corners here, because the problem is that people are always worried about like the guys dropping down from S3 to S2 in front of them, and no, this guy right here doesn't have that angle because there's always guys in the catwalk. So what you need to do is obviously take the one angle you can. All right, yo, sniper's coming up. Like if I want to take, if it gets to, you know, 3-4 years from now, and Halo Reach is being played for still, you know, $100,000 or whatever it is, but then like, and it's gonna be serious, it will turn into a strat game type where it's that slow and people don't, like, you know, want to give up any deaths. So if you take it as slow and serious as possible, it can get to that point. But obviously before it, just like everything is situational, you know, like in between those rotations and stuff like that in Team Slayer. So what you like I said, it's not a bad idea to orchestrate jetpack things. If you can get a guy coming up jetpack and then you, like I said, come up balcony, it's not hard to take over, you know, health back, and then make a move from there. You don't need to force it. Like if there's two guys in the radios, all right, this one guy in the radio, like maybe you work on the blue one. Yeah, let's focus on blue one, and you get a few angles down, a few nades, and then you get shot from red. Just hold your ground. Like you don't need to force anything. It's a Team Slayer, and you only have 50 deaths. So when you're going, you know, 6 and 17 or something like that, that's a consistently meaning that you made a ton of bad plays. If you know you go even or whatever, as long as you get around 12 deaths, and you like, you know, 7 and 12, yeah, it's a little bit bad. If you have a decent amount of assists, it's whatever. But anything more than 12 or 13, you know, you're doing more than your part. Like you can't be dying more than 12 or 13 times, because then actually you're, you know, doing more than a quarter of your share. Just like in Team Slayer, you want to have like, you know, around a quarter of the kills. If you don't, then maybe make up for it assists. So you just always want to kind of use that as your guideline. Like that's why when 20 kill games, when you get a 20 kill, that's a big deal, because you not only took over, you know, 12 of your kills or 13 of your kills, but you also took over half of someone else's. So that's always what you want to think about, is setting the bar as a goal. Is just even going 12 and 12 isn't a bad goal to set if you're not, you know, pulling your weight in the first place. But then some people are support players. Obviously, you guys know about the roles in the game. There's like support, objective, slayer, stuff like that, and also like an aggressive player. That's a huge deal too. So what you want to think about is like, oh, do I find myself, you know, sprinting more towards the person and chasing, like, or do I find myself sniping more? Do I find myself sitting back more? Do I find myself being an objective player? Like, it's not a bad thing to classify yourself as that as a tendency, because obviously when you work with something more, it becomes your strong point. So that's just how anything is in life is. So if you do find yourself, oh, I think I'm a good objective player, tell your teammates that, like, oh, I don't mind running the flag more often than not. You can grab the sniper, like, and just literally telling all your teammates so that now they have an idea. And like I said before in the last lesson, like the more you guys call each other, oh, John, I'm going for rockets. The more you guys hear those things in your head, you're gonna think, oh, this guy loves going for rockets. Oh, this guy loves coming up the vents. You know, like every single time that you guys are talking to each other more and more is when you hear the tendencies of each other. Like the reason I like giving like team lessons obviously are sweet, but at the same time the reason I like giving individual lessons is because it allows me to build like a relationship with a person. I can not only, you know, give them that basic spawn strat and all that kind of stuff I gave you guys in the beginning, but after, you know, let's say he buys 3 lessons and he gets to 4-3, within those 4 lessons I've gone over probably, you know, 10 to 15 videos with the kid by then, and I can see his tendencies. You know, oh, maybe this kid, he rushes too much when he's no shields, or you know, he doesn't do objective enough when he should. He's statting too hard with the sniper. Like, it's not hard to really diagnose someone's problems after you watch them for a couple of games or so. So that's a huge deal. And for you guys, when you watch your gameplay, like, see your tendencies. Like, it's not a bad idea to, let's say, you guys like both. It's like, how do I put it? So let's say, you know, like I said, you guys always want to have like a partner, like a duo partner. So let's say me and Len, for example, are partners. Like, I'll be like, yo, Len, like, you know, during this week, I'm a little bit busy, but I have this game that I recorded in my theater. I'm gonna upload it to my file share, download it, watch it, tell me what mistakes you think I made, and I'll do the same for you. Just give me a video on your file share, and it's the same. It's as stupid as, you know, it feels in English class when you're going over someone's paper and you don't want to criticize their shit because you don't want to make them feel bad. Well, now you can criticize them as much as you want because it's, you know, it's your teammate and you're trying to get him better. You guys are a bunch of mature adults.